Hey guys, today we're talking about the Falcon Eyes Pockelite F7. It's a small little portable RGB light, and I've seen a ton of reviews out there. I looked at, I'm always looking at reviews to see what everybody else is using and what they think about it. I always want to see like real world situations rather than just somebody rattling off a bunch of stats and specs on it. I have big lights. The problem is, and why you would need something like this, with big lights, I don't have the money for a bunch of V-mount batteries to try to power it. I don't have a big crew to hold lights to keep the wind from blowing them over outside. These are very expensive lights, and I don't want them broken. A lot of us don't have the money to replace stuff. We're lucky if we got it in the first place. So, you need something portable. One of the things I thought was kind of neat about having a light like this is I was doing a video trying to replicate the Dark Knight interrogation scene with the Joker. So when you start looking at movie scenes and the lights in them, I start noticing that, okay, well, they're in this dark interrogation room, but there's this little speck of light in the Joker's eyes. So I knew they had to have something. Well, they had a little lamp on the table that was basically pointing down at the table to brighten it up. But I used a little light like this, and I could kind of replicate that same look. So having little things like that for accent or effects or hair lights, something like that, it's amazing. But the best thing about it is this is so small. I can take this, put it in my pocket, my baggage, whatever. And if I'm on location somewhere, I have a light. Having something that actually has built-in RGB into it really makes a big difference. So if I turn this on, I go into my RGB mode, I can literally come in here and just go start changing my stuff around. So if I want various colors, I can change how bright it is. I can turn this bad boy up and down. I don't want to kill your eyes here, but this thing is friggin' bright. The other cool thing about this light is it has a really, really strong magnet on the back of it. So you can slap this pretty much anywhere. And in places where you couldn't put it, you could take a couple clamps, clamp it into something, and then use it that way, and then have them magnetized to the clamps, which is kind of neat. If you're doing a film and you want something to be off screen, where you could have like a little smoke effects or something like that, I mean, this thing's perfect for that. Also, if I'm in a hotel room or something and I was doing a little interview, like I said, I could bounce this off the wall or just use it to make the room brighter all around if I don't have bigger lights with me that I can do something a little bit more stylized. This is just one of the colors you can go through. I mean, this thing has every friggin' color you can think of. Put it on a little light stand, or it's got a magnet on it, so you could go slap that somewhere, but put that right out of shot just to light up that smoke. Okay, special effects, just push a button. This is probably one of my favorites here. This is the alien, we got to get the hell out of here now thing. Just having, something like this in your bag that you can throw on, there's so many cool things you can do. Now, what I end up doing, because I don't have a lot of cool locations where I live that I can go to or that would let me go off and shoot at. So most of what I end up doing is stuff here in my studio where I have to disguise it as something else using lights or lack of light and try to create my scenes without having, sets or, locations. So having something like this where I could say, okay, it's a dark room, there's a warning sign going off, so now you have this, or I need candlelight, or, I mean, it even has, let's see. I mean, it has, if you wanted to do cop cars. Now, I know this is probably the first thing people show you with this light because, it's an effect. But to me, I could see it being useful if I'm doing some kind of crime scene or something like that. Say you don't have the cop car, but you want to have the detective, walking up. Drop the other lights out. So now I'm a detective walking up to the crime scene. You don't see cop cars, but you see the light there. So having something like that, it doesn't matter if some people, if you think, oh, well, that's kind of, I'll never use that, whatever. You might. And there is no gels. What are you gonna have somebody doing red and blue? I've seen people where they have two different lights with the red gel and the blue gel both sides, and they're just spinning it around trying to get this effect. But it's built in. And for like 140 bucks, I mean, this thing has, you got your grid, you got your diffuser. Lasts 2 hours, you can hook it up to a power bank, and it has a bunch of built-in effects. Not only that, but the fact that you can actually switch colors to fit any kind of thing you want to do, that's pretty kick-ass. Let me see if I can find the, it's got lightning and stuff like that. I guess that's could come in cool. Now, there is no way that I've seen that you can adjust these, but for the effects they're doing, I don't really think that I'm gonna be like, it's not like the light's so powerful as one of the giant lights that you're gonna be wanting to dim it down. If you're using lightning, you're gonna use lightning. If it's too bright or something, diffuse it, and you're good. This just kind of goes through and just plays all the colors, but here's the candle one I was talking about. Let's see what this looks like. There, that's just with the candle light, which would probably be lower. There's my candle. I'm having a nice romantic dinner with myself. Yeah. It's funny because a lot of times I'm waiting for you know, all the stuff I buy to show up, and then I'm like, cool, it's here. And because I don't have any projects going on at that moment, or you know, any friends nearby where I can say, hey, model for me, I'm just like, cool. And then I set it up and I just put it aside, and it's like, well, that wasn't fun. But this thing I'm just having a lot of fun with because I just see all the possibilities of things I can do with it now. Where I'm just like, oh, well, you know what? That'd be a nice little candlelight scene. Now, maybe you don't want it looking like Friday the 13th. So I add some blue cellophane to my key light. Now I've got a little bit of blue moonlight. Add my little candlelight here, and we're cool in the gang. It's really cool just to be able to find my favorite color and then be able to slap that up behind me. And this is with black paper background. So if it's lighting this up pretty well, I mean, the smoke helps. Imagine if I had white paper or gray or something that's a little lighter. Does a really good job. I think I went crazy on the smoke, but it gives you a better idea of how you can take a little light and let it get carried with all the smoke particles, and it really expands that light out. But this thing has like a cool little case with it. Like I said, got the grid and all that stuff. So they give you quite a bit. They even get you a little neat little mounting thing here that you can adjust and set it up however you want. A little cold shoe. So, I mean, it's so kick-ass to see what technology is doing, and just to see these little lights and the more portable features for some of us that just can't, we don't have production crews. It's really, really cool. And it's nice to know that it's almost to the point where anything you can imagine doing, there's a tool to do it now. And this is a really cool one. So if you guys are looking for a light, this is the Falcon Eyes Pockelite F7, and it's definitely worth it.